Power357radio.com. Every Saturday night from 9 to 11 p.m. It's the Late Night Lunchin'. You dirty bitches.
It's time to get your lunch on with the frat boys on Power357radio.com. You dirty bitches.
Slim, you lunch.
Ladies and gentlemen, B-boys and B-girls, pimps, politicians, pickpockets, and punks, you're now tuned in to the Late Night Lunchin' every Saturday night from 9 to 11 on Power357radio.com. This is the Frat Boys, you dirty bitches.
The views and expressions in this broadcast are those of the Frat Boys and allegedly do not reflect the views or positions of any entity they represent. You dirty bitches.
All celebrity voices are impersonated.
Mud flat.
What up, what up? You already know what it is. It's your boy, Skrillazilla Raw. Thank you, thank you. I want everybody to grab their vices and turn up their devices. Cause it's that motherfucking time again. Frat boys, make some motherfucking noise. That's the type of noise I'm looking for.
Damn, here we go again.
You already know.
What's good, Spade? Yeah. What's going on? Who we got in the lunchbox, Spade?
Okay, we got our brother, the Drunken Sailor here. We got brother Mischievous checking in. We got brother Reno. Of course, we got Bubs. And we got the lovely Ethel. You dirty switches.
So lovely.
The dirty switches. And everybody out there in the Twitcher sphere, thank y'all for tuning in because you want to hear it loud and hear it clear. Because we all through the Twitcher sphere. What's up, y'all?
Exactly. Make sure that everybody right now, no matter what you're doing, stop and go to YouTube and subscribe. If you don't know what the YouTube is, then you're fucking retarded. It's Late Night Lunchin', LateNightLunchin.
Late Night Lunchin'. It sounds
Late
like
Night
he's spelled it.
Late night lunch.
You know, the funny thing is, I was talking to somebody about that this week, and I was like, yeah, go to Late Night Lunchin'. And they were like, how do you spell it? Luncheon. I was like, the fuck does that even mean, dude? No luncheon, like DC. What the fuck, man? Like, what are you? Like, who spells it like that? The Queen of England, motherfucker? Like, what?
It's the Late Night Luncheon. It's the Late Night Luncheon. We on a night shift.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's bloody great to fucking see ya. You know what I'm saying?
So Skrills, we here, man. How's everybody's week, man?
Yeah, that's what I want to know, man. Has anybody did anything fucking exciting since last time I see you, motherfuckers?
I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say it was exciting, but you know, okay, you know me. I got a lot of random shit that happens to me, and I was outside the liquor store, right?
What's up, man?
I was outside the liquor store, 2 blocks down the street from me on East Capitol. And I see a youngin' out there. He's asking for change, right? So I see a ankle monitor on his ankle. So I figured he goes to one of these, either the Maya Angelou school right across the street from me.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, what grade are you in? He's like, yeah. Well, I'm in the 8th grade, man. Like, bro, you are 13 years old with an ankle monitor on. Man, listen, you need to stay out of these people's way. What happened? What happened? How did you get it? Why are you wearing an ankle monitor? I was caught in a stolen car with some of my friends, and they
done that.
Okay, but no, and I ain't trying to pull no heartstrings or nothing. But I said, listen here, young brother, you too young to be getting wrapped up in some bullshit. I love you, man. I love you, bro. I posted this shit on my social media. I was like, I love you, young brother. Stay the fuck out the way, man. It's cool to be a square. It's cool to be a fucking nerd.
That's true. You know, the funny thing is, Spade's like a killer Care Bear. You know what I mean? Because if everybody that talks to Spade, he tells them when he gets off the phone, I love you. You know what I mean? And in that way, he's like a Care Bear. But if you fuck with him, he will kill you, like Five Nights at Freddy type shit.
It's a bear. A bear will maul your ass.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
but the youngin, man, look, the youngin started crying and said he never had no man tell him he loved him.
and that's the reason why he's got an ankle monitor on.
Everything wrong with everything.
You know what I'm saying? Adapt him up. I'm like, yo, man, look, I live right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, he said he skipped school because, you know, he needed a haircut. His clothes all dusty and stuff. I'm like, man, listen, they be joning on you. Okay, cool. Listen, man, this is my number. Trust me. I've been here, done that. But it bugged me to hear that a 13-year-old kid in Southeast DC never heard a man tell him he loved him.
Exactly. And, you know, it reminds me, I was on the socials, right? And
Yeah.
I think I came across like a clip from Fugazi. I think it was Fugazi, right? Don't quote me on that. And the lady was like, yeah, I give my kid everything. I'm teaching him how to be a man. And for those that don't watch Fugazi, like this dude, anytime a woman say something like that, he just spazzes the fuck out, right? So he's like, you can't teach him how to be a fucking man. He was like, you're a woman. You can teach him how to be a boy, and he's already a boy. He's going to learn how to be a man from other men in the street, or he's going to learn how to be a man from his father. And if he don't have a father, he's going to learn it from the streets. And I was listening to him, and I'm like, yo. And the funny thing is, every single one of those women were agreeing with her and not him. And that is what the fuck is wrong. She cannot teach him how to be a man. There's no way for her to do that. All she can, because the bottom line is, just like the guy said, you've never experienced being a man. All you can do is teach him right from wrong, but you can't teach him what it's like to be a man. And that's why no matter what, fathers are fucking, they're fundamental. They need to be there. If the father's not there, you're going to have situations like what Spade is talking about.
What is I was talking about the other day, and it was about this one woman. It was the same concept. I don't know if it was related to this or whatever. They said, but, you know, you don't have a man, so would you want your son marrying you? And I'm like, that was powerful. I'm like, you know, so you're emulating this as a woman. Would you want your son to marry you when you think none of these men are good enough for you because you bring all this shit to the table? And I think there's a concept. Men don't give a shit about strong women. Like we want peace. We want a woman that brings us peace.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit that you're a boss lady. You know what? I want you to be humble when you get home. I want I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. I don't need
a boss bitch.
No, I don't want to come home and have to fight you for anything. I want my peace. My world is crazy as it is. I want to walk home and have intimacy and love. Fuck that boss babe shit. If you got to carry that shit in the house, I don't want to hear your shit. Now, they had that one the other day where it's talking about this one lady, about how her husband, she kept having to remind him to, you know, take the trash out. And here he is, this guy's like a lineman, you know, roughneck dude, you know, fucking busting his balls fucking 12 hours a day in the fucking heat and shit. And she's bitching because this man can't take the trash out. And I'm like, bitch.
You got to take the trash out, drunken sailor. I'm sorry. Look, that is one thing. That is one thing that you must do. If you want to keep a woman, you must take the trash out because they do not like to touch the trash for shit.
But there's a difference there in terms of, you know, if all you're doing is nagging this guy, you know, like you said, like there's, you know, we have a rules, but she's like, oh, he didn't change the diaper. I'm like, I said, this man's out there and you're a stay-at-home mom. This whole thing, oh, I had a rough day with the kids. I will fucking tomorrow will give up my job to be a stay-at-home dad. I would do it tomorrow. This is the easiest job in the world. And I got 4
You know
kids
what?
and a
We
girlfriend.
all say that. We do. We all say that.
I would
But
definitely love to do that.
I guarantee you, one day with them crazy little fuckers, you'll be like, fuck that, I'm going back to work. Where's my
Going
bitch?
back to work.
Man, fuck that.
I got a point.
See, I'm gonna tell you something. That's one thing I love about being a father, right? I really don't have to be present, except for like 2 days a week. You know what I'm saying? But as long as every day when she's stuck here, my daughter's bouncing off the fucking walls. I'm like, deuces, I gotta go to work, man.
I got some shit
I
to
got
do.
a 28-year-old, a 28-year-old, a 24-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
Oh my God.
And I'll tell you something. The 7-year-old
You
made
need to cut that
me
thing
reevaluate.
off.
I would have 10 more right now if I could, because the 7-year-old made me realize that my priorities were all fucked up when I was younger with my older kids. And I would have 10 more right now. I'd be a stay-at-home dad right now because it is the greatest job in the world. And other people that talk about, I'm like, trust me. Are we drinking?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mom. Let me tell you something.
Mr. Mom is a great thing.
Let me tell you something. I got one. And I was willing to fucking get divorced before I had another one. You know what I'm saying? I told this motherfucker, I'm rating all this shit. I said, we ain't having no other kid. Fuck that. It costs too much money, man. It costs way too much money to raise these little crumb snatchers.
Crunch goblins.
Hey, I work through. They got 9 of them. So, by the way, just so everybody knows, that's the garage stash. That's not the house stash. That's just the stuff I keep in the garage so the wife
That's
doesn't
just
know
the
I keep buying
beginning.
new bottles.
Well,
That is just
glad-
the
I'm glad
fucking
y'all took the
beginning.
swimmers
So,
back
Drunken
into the
Sailor,
park.
tell us what you're drinking on tonight, and give us a little review.
A
Well,
little
right now,
review.
little review. So right now we're doing a little basil. Hey, nice. So for all those purists out there, I don't really mix a whole lot. I do a little ginger ale every now and then. But right now, this is the mainstay in the house. I keep a bottle of basil. This is the light stuff. This is when you just want a little sip, a little bit of ice. I like everything nice and cold. We all know.
Now hold on. I want you to sniff it. I want you to swish it
you
around in
wanna
your mouth a little bit. I want you to show people you're a connoisseur.
Thank you up, baby. Thank you up, baby. So this one's got the hints of the little bit of oak, a little bit of vanilla. This is smooth. It is like I said, it's a mainstay. I drink it straight with a little bit of ice on it. I like everything cold. So I'll give you a story about how much I like whiskey. So
Please.
roughly about 20 years ago, I was getting divorced from my ex, and kids went away to Maryland, back to PG County, to see my family for Thanksgiving. So at that point in time, I was still putting Santa Claus and Christmas lights on my ex's house that I still own in the house. So here it is. At this point in time, big whiskey drinker, had a flask in the car. I'm like, I said, drink my flask. And I realized I still got a bottle in the house. At this point in time, I'm drinking Maker's Mark, which, you always got to have a bottle of that.
I love some
around.
Maker's Mark. I love Maker's
I like
Mark.
the
That-
red
that's-
wax.
Yeah, that Spade's drink right there. He got me into
Yes,
that.
sir.
So
Yes, sir.
that's a Maker's 46, and I keep a bottle of Maker's around. So I go in the house and I get the bottle. Now, you guys ever outside with a glass of ice or with a glass of whiskey, when it's cold outside, the outside of the glass turns into that nice little coated ice? Dude, I'm putting Christmas lights on the house, and I start at about 6 o'clock at night. It's November, so it's dark outside. I finished about 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the fucking roof. Now, what happens in November? Now, I'm in Jersey, so in November, Jersey, the dew sets in. So as
Dirty
I
Jersey.
come up 4 o'clock in the morning, there's ice on the roof. I can't get off the fucking roof. I got to call my business partner up at 4 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, Bobby, come get me. He's like, what the hell you doing? I said, where? I said, because we're drunk. I said, yeah, I'm at my ex's house. He said, what the fuck you doing on your ex's house? I said, I was putting the Christmas lights up. Shit looks good, too. What's the problem? Can't get off the roof. It's all fucking ice. He had to come get me.
Oh, God.
He had to come get me 4 o'clock in the morning and throw a rope over the back of the house so I could slide down to the ladder without falling off the roof. But that's what happens when you drink.
So did he throw like a grappling hook? Like I'm imagining right now like a grappling hook, like on the peak of the roof, and you having to climb down like the American Ninja.
He had to throw a rope over the back of the house, tied it to a tree so that I could hold on to it and climb myself down the front of the house to the ladder.
You
So
should have
that's
took like a
how-
rag and like zip line down that motherfucker.
I'm too old. I'm old for that shit. So, but like I said, this little basil, it's nice and sweet. If you guys like a little bit of whiskey, this is a lighter one. This is like about a 38, depending on where you're at, between $38 and $50 a bottle. I drink one of these a night. It's pretty easy. But like I said, it's a light drinking one. So some of the ones I got behind me up there on the wall, they're like one and done. It's like if you end of the night, and I got my scotches inside the house. They're a little too precious to be out in the garage in the summertime in the heat. So, but so anything up there? Oh, but you guys ever had Lefroy?
Lafroy.
I'll show you this one. Lafroy. So I'm going to show you this
The
one.
Laphroaig.
That one, Lafroy.
Lafroy.
This one, if you want a heavy, this is one of the most heavily peated scotches. It is smoky. It's like chewing on charcoal. Great with a cigar. So
Did
that's
you
a
say
wintertime one.
peed? Did you say heavily peated? Explain that for those that don't drink scotch.
So a lot of scotch. So everybody doesn't know this. Scotch has got to
I'm
be
one of them.
distilled. The scotch has got to be distilled in Scotland. Irish whiskey has to be distilled and matured in Ireland. All scotches use American oak barrels that were used to create whiskey to what the hell? The maturing process, which I'll remember that in a second. But so all scotches come from Scotland are distilled and stored and aged in American oak barrels, charred barrels that were used to produce either Kentucky bourbon or some type of whiskey. So that's all
Okay.
scotches. So depending on the area in Scotland that you're at, there's an Islay, different types of scotches come from different areas of Scotland where they're at, some are by the sea, some are by the woods. Well, what they do is they will put peat. So they will smoke and distill, put chunks of peat in the barrels after they burn them. So they
Now, what the
basically make
fuck is
charcoal.
Pete? What is Pete?
Pete.
Like,
Pete
my
balls.
uncle's name was Pete. Is it like Pete of his body or what? Like, what the fuck is going on?
PEAT. So peat bogs over there. It's actually, it's all the grass and all that stuff creates these bogs, and basically it's used for making charcoal over in
You
Scotland
said
and Europe.
balls.
Balls. Yeah, balls.
Balls.
So, and then they basically turn that into charcoal and they peat it, and they'll actually put that peat in the barrels with staves of wood, and that's how you get that really smoky taste in some of the barrels. So
Okay, yeah, because normally
America
when I
was-
put my Pete in the barrel, there'd be stains of wood all over the motherfucking
Yo,
shit.
stinging that shit. Be
Hey,
stinging that shit.
yo, look who just fell into the gig. We got Lorenzo and we got Mike Nice. What's up with y'all, fellas? What's up with y'all?
What up?
Why does Zoe look like Missy and shit from
Hollywood,
I Can't Stand the
Hollywood.
Rain?
Everybody gotta tell me what y'all drinking.
In
Everybody
my
gotta tell me what you're drinking now.
window.
What's good? What's good?
What's everybody drinking?
man.
So you look like
What's
you
up, brothers, man?
What's
How y'all
good?
doing on this
inside and you're
Saturday?
fighting the desert storms, man.
Yo,
Yo,
Rock
hey.
Hollywood looks like
Yo.
the background.
What more
Like,
can I
this shit is
say?
crazy.
Yeah, it looked like he said that a go-go.
It's chilling.
It's like a go-go flick.
Hey, I'm just enjoying this whiskey lesson, man. This whiskey lesson, man. Word up, man.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
saying
because
it's
this is
top
not
early.
something we learn every day. We
Yeah.
learn about scotches and whiskeys. Like,
There you go.
so what I'm hearing right now is that it's called scotch because it has to be aged.
Said, in
Plus
order
two.
to be
It's-
some, New York's getting into it, Colorado, but there's actually laws in place that basically say if you want to call it a bourbon, it's got to be made in the proper of Kentucky using corn raised in Kentucky. So you got Indiana. A lot of your ryes are made by a big company out of Indiana. But I think everybody remember that when that Rick House from 1792 collapsed. Everybody was freaking out. Oh my God, we lost, we're going to have a raise in prices. That was legitimately like 1% of their barrels. One rick house collapsed, and it was like a blip in the radar. And what a lot of times they do is if they have batches where they don't like let's just say it doesn't mature the way that they want it to. So most American
Like
whiskeys
me.
are between 2 to 4 years old. Yeah, mature. Between 2 to 4 years old. So you have that thing. So if a barrel doesn't mature, they want to do it. They'll actually use that for your basically some of your what the hell is it called? Your mixed whiskeys, where they have multiple different ages into one barrel. So you talk about some people that have, single barrel. It's one barrel or it came from one barrel, that bottle, or one batch. And other times they'll take different years and make them together. So a lot of your Johnny Walkers and all that stuff are basically batches selected together to get to a taste. Whereas some of your single barrel malts and stuff like that are one select, like they made it this year and that year was used for that. And those bottles were, those barrels were only used for that and nothing else type stuff. So
I can tell you love this shit, man. I can tell because you did the reason. Look, he doesn't just drink; he does the research on it. Like this motherfucker, literally, he's literally like the Neil deGrasse Tyson of motherfucking liquor.
So if anybody wants to get into whiskey, if anybody wants to like expand your horizons, there's all these. You see those whiskey of the month clubs and stuff like that. They'll send you shit from all over the country. And normally between like $40 to $60 a bottle, you pay per month. They'll ship it to you, and it's a pain in the ass because you got to have somebody over 21 years of age at the house to sign for it type stuff. But if you want to expand your horizons, that's how I actually got started. I used to be a big Jim Beam guy. Jack Daniels is fucking rock gut, won't even drink it. I'll pour that shit out first. Jim Beam, Maker's Mark. And then my wife got me to, like 20 years ago, got me to Whiskey the Month Club. And all of a sudden I start getting all these different whiskeys from all over the country. And you realize if you're drinking the same shit every week, you got to expand your horizons. There's so much good stuff out there. I think in maybe 10 years, I've dumped 1 or 2 bottles that were just.
And you know what? That's what happened to me with beer. Like so I'm a beer connoisseur, and I got into the beer of the month club, where they were flying me like 10 beers a month and stuff like that.
Peanut butter and jelly beer, fuck that shit. That is garbage.
Oh, come on.
I want a malt liquor of the month club, or somebody give me like a fucking Mad Dog flavor of the month club, because y'all up here trying to teach dirty bitches how to be sophisticated and shit. You started out the show trying to teach us how to be soft towards other men. Now we're being sophisticated and shit, man.
Kind of weird.
Because you folks want to get sophisticated.
So hold on, when did you say we were soft toward other men?
Shouts out to Drew on Twitch.
Soft toward other men? When the fuck did we ever go that direction?
I mean, that's how we started out tonight. I mean, just because
hold on, so we started out tonight talking about rubbing lotion on each other's skin? Like, what the fuck is going on?
We're talking about having, we uplift the younger generation of men. I'm down for that. But I'm saying this is an interesting episode of Late Night Luncheon, man.
I'm too fucking old to be drinking Mad Dog 50
and other dudes, but just because I'm old don't mean my drinking palate gotta be sophisticated, man.
No. I'm too fucking old to be doing some Mad Dog 40 or any of that bullshit, some booze farm, and waking up in a fucking cornfield somewhere. Them days are long fucking gone.
And men still drink Cisco.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a tequila drinker anyways, man. I hate whiskey and scotch.
Tequila makes your clothes fall off. You better stop.
Whiskey, scotches.
Shit, man. Maybe that's what I'm trying to have.
This sounds like a liquor historian.
Stay right there.
What'd you say, Zoe?
Look at Zoe over that
motherfucker. Like a liquor historian.
Look at Zoe over this motherfucker. Right. I can't stand the rain.
Hey, Skrills.
My window.
Hey, Skrills. Look at Zoe. He look like a Monchichi.
Super duper duper fly.
You know
super duper duper fly.
You know what's funny? Well, one good thing about this whole thing is Drunken Sailor is talking about a lot of American whiskeys, right? And one good thing about that is that you don't have to worry about the prices going up with these new tariffs. So I think what we need to talk about right now is we need to talk about these tariffs, man. So Trump is placing these tariffs, and I'm going to tell you how I feel, and then I want to see how you guys feel. So I've been watching this, and I've been researching this, and I know Hollywood's not very happy about it, but I noticed that it seems like for years, these other countries have been bending us over. They've been bending us over. They've been bending us over the fucking picnic table, right?
So we're told.
So we're told. But I mean, look, if we did the research, we could find out. But now I'm watching, the interactions with Mexico, and I'm watching the interactions with Canada. So Canada was big and bad at first. They were like, oh, well, if the U.S. raises the tariffs, we're going to raise the tariffs on their energy, right?
Oh,
so
then 4 of our states. Yes.
So then Trump said, well, I don't give a fuck. I'm raising the tariffs. Fuck y'all. Then this week, basically Canada said, we don't want the tariffs to raise. We're not raising the tariffs on the energy. And not only that, we're going to put our Mounties at the border to make sure that there's nobody crossing. So the way I'm seeing these tariffs, the way I'm seeing these tariffs is, and I'm seeing these tariffs as bargaining chips.
I see it as a trade war.
Well, that's what you're being told. But
it's not a
no,
trade.
that's the way I see it. Now, look, if China was taxing us so bad on things, and if Canada was taxing us so bad on things, why would they have to raise the ante if they were already taxing us on the tariffs high? Why would they have to raise it if it was already high? That makes no sense to me.
But listen to what I'm saying.
We're what we charge them. That's what you did. Look at all the numbers on what we're charged and what they're charged.
Right. And what we're doing, and look, and there's one thing I can say about what he's doing. It's working because within the last week,
that's
right?
Stupid.
We're not talking. Hold on, we're going to go to everybody, but within the last week, we're not talking about China. China's a whole different motherfucking animal, right? But within the last week, Canada said, we're going to work with Trump and we're going to do whatever he wants. Mexico said, we're going to work with Trump. Now, Mexico did actually make this statement. They said, we're going to put people on the border to stop the fentanyl, but we expect Trump to put soldiers on the border to stop the guns, because they said the guns that go to the cartel come from the U.S. and the fentanyl that goes to America comes from Mexico.
Okay, but do you understand that the majority, I'm saying like 85 to 90% of the fentanyl comes from Americans crossing over into Mexico and coming back.
Bringing it back, exactly.
It's not Mexicans bringing it over. It's not the cartels bringing it over. It's Americans bringing it over.
Who's giving it to them? Who's giving it to them?
But they're doing it.
So
So
don't say
the Mexicans are coming
It's
over here
China.
with the fentanyl and we got to deport them and arrest them and send them to Guantanamo when it's the Americans doing it.
Hold on, everybody.
Hold on, everybody. Go ahead, Hollywood.
Down just as well.
What if terrorists ever worked? When has it ever benefited?
Okay, so look, I think you're looking at it the wrong way. Go ahead, Ethel.
Well, I'm just saying. Just give me an example of.
I just did. I gave you an example. I told you.
No. Of when it benefited the country. What example did you give?
I sent it to
Hold on. Go ahead, Ethel.
I sent it to Bubba not long ago. The government used to. Government funding came from tariffs only. That was
okay,
it.
so.
And
so
then
hold on. Hold on, Ethel. Drunken Sailor wants to talk about this. Go ahead, Drunken.
So we'll give you a little history here. Prior to 1913, somewhere in there, before the income tax was actually established in the United States, all of our federal government funding was created from tariffs. All of it. So
and it did very well, and we did very well.
Which sent us to the Great Depression.
Oh, well, no.
Good in 1913?
From 1776, when we declared independence.
No. Hold on. When did you say it started? When did you say? What year did you say it started?
1776 to 18. So remember, prior to 1776, we were a British colony, so we were paying taxes to the British. So now, 1776, we declared independence. Tariffs probably started around 1785 when we actually established the states and everything. We got out of the wars. So from 1785-ish, don't quote me on that number, so roughly about 1900-ish, I think it was 1913, somewhere in there, we created tariffs. So the reason we actually created an income tax was actually to fund the First World War I to actually pay for the war bonds.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on, Ethel. Go ahead, Hollywood.
Where does the free labor come into play? the free labor that the Americans benefited from for 200 years during 1776. Where does that free labor come into play? Can you explain
He's
that?
talking about slavery. Go ahead.
Yeah, right.
No. I mean, let's not go
Well, I mean,
on that.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I mean, that's why it benefited.
Well, no, but you gotta remember,
Free
we
labor.
made all of our money.
What?
Well, no, we made all of our money for the federal government. But that's states and corporations that benefit. I mean, we gotta figure the states versus the federal government. The federal government made their money to pay for their infrastructure on tariffs. So that, we figure slavery ended in 1865. So for another 110, 115 years, you have tariffs that actually funded the United States government. I'm not talking about state governments. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm talking about strictly federal government.
Federal government, yeah.
Federal government. So I mean, I'm not going to downplay that at all, but that's a factor, but not relative to how the federal government got their funding, because the federal government didn't tax American corporations and that stuff. We got it strictly on tariffs.
Yeah, but you have to understand. But what about the export?
Well, remember, we didn't export much. We imported much.
Well,
we didn't start.
We didn't export much.
So basically, what you're saying is we imported more than we exported, right? And that's what we've been doing for the last how many years?
But the exporting, we can't just omit free labor for the export.
But you have to remember the Industrial Revolution. So the Industrial Revolution didn't occur until about the 1870s, 1880s. So slavery's already gone by that point in time. We're not going to downplay that. I'm not going to dismiss that at all. But we're going to talk about strictly federal government. So now the Industrial Revolution, remember, Trenton has a bridge that literally says Trenton makes the world tick. So now you talk about the industrial complex. So from 1800 to about 1940 to basically after World War I, the United States made it their point that they were going to rebuild the fucking world. So obviously from like 1960s.
1940.
Right, I'm saying, but once that was done, 1950s, the United States gets into the business of rebuilding the world. So what we did is we have a bunch of corrupt politicians who basically said, fuck it, we're going to make China a powerhouse. So from like 1970s until current, we basically, through our own political fucking stupidity, allowed all of our manufacturing to leave the United States for 100 years. From like 1860 to the 1960s, we were a powerhouse of industrial manufacturing. If it was done in the world, we're done.
Hold on, Drunken. So there was another reason, and we can't downplay this. So a big reason for America to start outsourcing, right, was because we started, like OSHA, we started safety, right? So you got to remember, when we were making all this money, like we had kids that were getting their fucking arms cut off. You know what I'm saying? Like working at the factories. So when we started making America, I guess, quote unquote, safe to work or safer to work, that is when it started costing more money. You know what I mean? Right. And because it started costing more money, people started outsourcing. But one thing I can say about this, and I'm going to turn it back around, about the tariffs, like everybody's so mad about this shit, right? For what fucking reason?
I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why real quick. It's because these shipping companies that import these things and distribute it here, they're the ones who pay the fucking taxes, not them. The companies,
they're all registered in foreign countries.
I'm talking about the American companies. Even American companies that import, they have to pay the tariff, not China, not fucking Mexico, not Canada. So that turns into higher prices for us.
That is exactly what saves you into the great.
Okay, but guess what?
It sends you into a recession, and then it sends you into a fucking depression.
Okay, but guess what? Hold on, Ethel. But guess what? It's not like we haven't been in a recession before.
I mean,
during Obama, we went into a recession. Okay? No, but listen to what I'm saying.
Eggs weren't $8 a fucking dozen.
Wait a minute.
It was during Obama, dude. I lost my job. Just like all these fucking government workers are losing their job. I lost mine during Obama.
That recession happened because of fucking Bush.
Okay, I'm not saying
you just said it was more Obama.
But who was it during?
That's right. You, whoever, I'm agree with you. Oh, whoever is the president
Who
at the
was it
time, just like
during?
it's Trump right now. I don't care if it's Biden's, whatever. Whoever is in charge, just like the coach of a team, just like the coach of a team.
Exactly.
I'm gonna blame them.
Hold on. If you coach, look, Hollywood, if you take over the Redskins and they suck and they lose, it's your fucking fault, Hollywood. It don't matter if they suck for 100 years. You're their coach today. That's all I'm saying. But look, this is what I want to say, and I'm going to turn it back over. One thing I can say, because of Mexico and Canada, not the rest of them, but because of Mexico and Canada, when we told them that we were going to raise tariffs, they started negotiating. And look, I'm not the only one that's saying this. Mr. Wonderful saying the same fucking thing. Mr. Wonderful even said, the difference is, Mr. Wonderful said, when people say that, oh, yeah, one day Trump said this and then Trump falls back, he said that's called negotiation. The only difference is, because of his position, you're seeing the negotiation. You don't normally see business negotiation.
Do you take location into factor that they both border our countries and other countries that don't border our countries are going to be like, fuck you?
Well,
yeah, 100%.
Exactly. That's the only reason is because they border us and they have to deal with us on an everyday fucking basis.
And when Reagan was in office, we definitely saw the negotiations as well. So I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Well, I'm not that old, Hollywood.
Well, you know, in the 1970s, we produced 70% of everything that we had in this country was made here.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why they went out.
We don't need their shit.
One of the reasons why they did that is because of plastic.
We don't need their shit.
Plastic.
We don't need their, exactly. Look, it's just like the guy said on TikTok.
Right? You think we don't need their shit?
No,
listen, shit away, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it.
You would definitely feel it.
But this is the difference. This is the difference.
And what jobs has it created? I mean, like where?
Just like if we stop sending shit.
Where is this revenue coming from?
Okay, what do you mean? It's going.
But I'm spending more at the grocery stores, Zilla. I'm spending more at the gas station. I'm spending more everywhere. So how is this benefiting us?
But you're spending more money because
it's supposed to benefit you in the long run. It's not supposed to benefit you today. You know what I'm saying? See, this is the thing. And a guy said this. I was looking at a social media video, and the guy said, look, the best way to look at this is normally you could buy a lighter from China for $10, right? And you could buy a lighter from America for $25. But you're going to buy the lighter for $10 from China, right? Because it's $10. Yeah. Well, when the tariffs get added to China, both lighters are going to cost $25. Now you're going to support.
Well, it's time to get our rubbing sticks out. Time to get the rubbing sticks out.
Well, do you realize?
Hold on. Let Mischievous talk. He hasn't talked the whole day. Go ahead.
I've been sitting back here listening to this shit, and you know, some people are making some good points, and I appreciate the historical, you know, details thrown in there and shit like that. But
yeah, so do I.
The one thing I'll say about the history, it's important to know history, but what was relevant and what was effective, you know, 100 or 200 years ago, let me just start by saying, is not motherfucking effective now. Much in the same way that people that say, hey, you know, I want to follow the Bible to a T. Well, you know, the Bible in the Old Testament, if you followed everything that is said in it, right, we'd be stoning people to death, sacrificing our kids. If we were wearing clothes comprised of multiple fabrics, we would be going to hell and da-da-da-da. Same way as the Constitution. Constitution is supposed to be, you know, providing the guidelines for things, but there are things that weren't even thought about back then. So it's cool to know the history, but what worked 100 years ago, 200 years ago, ain't gonna work in 2025. So it's nice to say, hold on. It is nice to sit here and to try to motherfucking justify the bullshit that's going on in this motherfucking country that this current dictatorship regime is pulling by trying to say, well, no, come on, we just don't understand the bigger picture. It's because it has to get worse before it gets better. You know what? I fucking say that shit in counseling to my motherfucking patients. That's when it comes to emotion and shit, not the motherfucking economy. And I'm sure people would be a lot more willing to accept the raises in prices on gas, on clothing, on food and everything, if we also
not on gas, the prices on gas haven't gone up. Go ahead.
If we here,
went down.
Are 60.
Gas
prices are 65 cents more a gallon in Pennsylvania, where I'm at, than they were before.
Because your governor keeps raising the taxes.
Exactly. You need to talk to your governor. He's the one that added to the gas tax.
But Mizzo has a point, because listen, the tariffs only benefit one person and one person only, and that's the dictator. Do you understand? With these universities and these fucking businesses, do you understand it's going to be so high that the only thing they can do, and this is exactly what Trump wants, is them to come to him so he can lower them, so he gets loyalty.
Right.
You understand? It's all about power and loyalty. That's all it's about.
That's only because you've been listening to your senator. That's the only reason you're saying that. Look, the bottom line is, I get what you're saying. It's not about. It's not. Listen, hold on. It's not about loyalty.
All because I posted that, it doesn't mean that I don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about.
It's not about loyalty for Trump. It's about a fair shake for America.
Everything's about loyalty. Everything's about loyalty for Trump. Do you understand that? His whole motive for everything that he does. It's about loyalty.
I got to jump in here. We got to talk some history.
It's not about me watching.
Here it comes, the history professor.
It's not about me watching a YouTube video and posting that shit on the chat. It's about me knowing what the fuck I'm talking about.
Agree.
So we got to look at some stuff here. We got to look at some stuff here. So we're going to talk 5 years. We're going to talk back to 5 years. So the first question I'm going to ask everybody here in this little forum that we got going on is, how many of y'all realize that every other country currently has tariffs on importing American-made products into their countries?
And we already had tariffs on them as well. We're just tracking them up.
Exactly. I mean, this isn't
ours weren't as high as theirs, Bubs.
None of this is news, dog.
I'm saying you cannot, right now, you cannot sell an American-made car in China, period. Can't do it. It's outlawed, not permitted, not allowed to do it. So there's 100% tariff on American-made cars, i.e. you cannot sell a car into China for a Chinese market.
You know what's going to happen in China? Their economy is going to be shit because ain't nothing coming in there to sell.
Just like ours is going to be some shit.
No one's buying.
Ours already is some shit, Bubs. Who the fuck are you? Biden done made our shit some shit.
I lived in Europe. There's no fucking American cars riding around Europe anywhere. I've been to fucking Germany. I've been to fucking England. I've been to France. I've been to Switzerland. I've been every. You understand? No one's buying our shit anyway.
That's good, Hollywood.
Some shit.
And we hold on. We need to stop buying their shit. That's what it comes down to.
In Europe, we're not allowed to buy their shit. What? What'd you say?
You're not allowed to buy. You cannot import them. They have.
What? In Europe?
You can't buy American cars in Europe. You can, but the tariffs are so high that they basically say to sell an American car in Europe, you can't afford it because you buy local. So the United States, I can send a truck to Europe, but it doesn't meet their standards or whatever their fucking emission standards are. But you can't afford to ship a truck to Europe and versus buying an American a European car.
Okay, right here. Listen, y'all. Listen, real quick. American-made cars are exported to Canada, Germany, Mexico, South Korea, Belgium, and Japan.
That's it.
Okay, so if you're saying that China puts 100% tariff so they don't sell them over there, and I don't know if you're implying that we should do that, because if you're implying we should do that, then basically we're handling our country in a communist way.
Exactly.
No, we're handling our country
like a communist country.
We're handling our country in a fair shake. Everybody in the world has been fucking over America, and we're fucking saying no more.
Reciprocal tariffs.
Hold on. Let's talk about this real quick. Who's the fucking over America? Everybody, listen. We gave Ukraine over $350 billion. They don't even know what happened to $150 billion of the fucking Ukraine money. Okay, now hold on. Spade, I know you want to talk about this. Let me just get this out and I'm going to go to you. So we said to them, if you want any more money, we want a percentage of your mineral deposits, right? And they got to make a decision. But guess what? Within the last week, we got a call from Congo's president. Hey, look, I need you to calm these rebels. I'm willing to give you 20% of our mineral deposits. It's time that America stops being the big brother that does shit for free and we get fucking paid. Go ahead, Spade.
Man, listen here. We live in a world of dictators and dictators. Okay? So, just like you said, we tired of taking the dick.
Exactly. My ass is hurting.
We tired of taking the dick. We ain't turning no cheeks. We ain't shaking no ass up.
But y'all don't understand, though. It's not going to trickle down to us. It's not going to trickle down to us. It's
but it could. But if it helps the economy, Bub.
It's not going to. It's just billionaires getting paid.
No,
you know why they crashed the market? Do you know why they crashed the fucking stock market? You know why they do that shit every now and then?
I sure do.
Everybody.
Yeah, they do it so all the fucking shit goes real cheap and the big billionaires fucking cop all the fucking goddamn shit for cheap and then it goes back up and they get fucking paid again and the little man fucking gets screwed. 401ks are some shit right now, bro.
They really thought
but they'll bounce back.
You can't even touch them.
They'll bounce back. But they'll bounce back. You don't know that.
Yeah.
I know that
fortune telling.
It'll bounce back. They
You're
always
fortune
bounce
telling.
back.
You're fortune telling.
When you but you guys gotta
you
understand.
Our whole government structure is changing right now. It's
But
not a democracy, bro.
No,
it's not
not.
a
What
fucking
is it?
democracy.
What
It's
is
not
it?
ever gonna be a
Dictatorship.
So what is
It's a fucking dictatorship because your vote don't count anyway, and it never has.
Okay, so guess what? We've been a dictatorship.
Do you know what a
way
democratic
before.
society is? Do you know what it is? It's the ability to vote for your leader. That shit is a fucking sham. And let's not fucking front on the shit. The shit is a sham. Your fucking vote don't count. The billionaires fucking put the man in there so they can control them and they can get the fucking stock market fucking money. That's what it's about. Stop fucking shit. Stop fucking just putting a fucking blindfold over your fucking faces.
Let me ask you this.
Fucking billionaires never cared for you, and they never fucking will.
Exactly, and isn't Biden one of those billionaires?
He is a fucking billionaire that don't give a shit about you or
Hey, Mike, you got a drink, baby. Mike, you
where
gotta
the
take a drink.
fucking money goes.
Mike, take a hit.
All the same.
Y'all are fucking blind as shit.
No.
Hit a hit. Hit a hit. Bubs, relax. Breathe, brother. Breathe.
So you say that you agree with me that your vote
Everybody
don't
drink.
count. So who puts them in?
Hey, Bubs, drink. Everybody drink. Relax. You gotta relax. Everybody got drink.
Being fucking blindfolded, acting like this shit is really gonna fucking help them. It ain't gonna help us, bro. We're the fucking peasants, bro. We're the fucking peasants.
Nothing's
Living in
gonna
the
help
fucking
us.
hovels and shit.
No, he's exactly
Living in
right.
Fucking mansions, living in it,
It's
and
not
don't have a fucking care in the world, bro. They don't give a fuck about. Why would they give a fuck about you? Why? It's
You're
not
right,
helping
though.
them.
But guess what? All we're trying to say is that every single one of them is the same. You got people like Hollywood acting like it's different when Trump and fucking Biden's in there. It's all the same.
Don't stop acting like this shit. That what he's doing is gonna fucking help you.
It's not exactly. That's my whole thing.
It's not gonna help
It's
you,
like,
bro.
It's like the support. It's like
The only way you're gonna become a fucking multi-millionaire is you bend your fucking ass over, and we know that to be true.
That's it.
I just want my money to stop going to places where it don't need to go. This whole thing, everybody's mad about this USAID and all this federal dose shit. I want my tax
white
dollars
women should be really mad because they were the biggest recipients of the USAID, DUI shit. They were the biggest fucking recipients of the shit. And guess what? They ain't saying shit because they're fucking brainwashed thinking that the 2%, 3% of the black people that fucking benefited from the DEI, nah. They fuck that. We're not going to fight for that because that 2 or 3% will get it. When white women were the ones who fucking suffered from it the most.
USAID was the money going overseas.
I'm talking about DEI.
Look, It is what it is. I gotta tell you
White
something.
women benefited the
Don't
most.
believe
That's
me?
true.
Check it out.
I mean, if you've worked in federal government, I've worked in government all my life, and I can go right now and tell you, say 90% of the people that are working, look, I don't give a shit. Do your job. That's all I care about. Do your job.
That's
And
it.
I
your own merit.
as somebody who spent all my time in the military, I don't want DEI in the military. I don't want diversity. I want fucking robots that are doing one job, and that is to kill. And if you have any standard that deviates from the we just gonna kill somebody, then there's no room for DEI in anything.
But Sarah, hold on. Then why are you only focusing on DEI? Why not just focus on across the board? If you want fucking robots, then make fucking robots for everybody. Listen, do you understand DEI is not built for dumb motherfuckers with no fucking technical experience or no fucking education to get in there? That's not what DEI is. DEI
What's DEI, Hollywood?
We don't have motherfuckers to do the job.
DEI is that DEI controls the bias hiring process. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that a job that requires you to have a master's degree that I'm gonna go hire somebody that has a fucking GED. What that means is the person of color who has a master's degree and that white person who has a master's degree, or the person of color that has a master's degree has the fair shake, and that there is no fucking bias.
Well,
it doesn't mean
that's not even true. It means that white woman that has a master's degree gets the fucking job.
It doesn't mean that I'm going to go hire.
It is true. The highest percentage of people that benefit is white women.
It doesn't mean that
white woman gets the job, not the
Y'all
black
are
person with the
bugging.
masters.
Y'all are bugging. Y'all are
Hollywood, for real. The DEI, that's what it really does. It doesn't give the black person the job that's just as qualified. It gives the white woman the job.
Well,
dirty bitches.
If that's what the analytics show, if that's what the analytics show, that's fine, bub. Okay, fine. If it's white women, cool. But what I'm saying is for this orange motherfucker to get on there after I heard this motherfucking plane helicopter run into this fucking plane, and the first thing he says, before he knows anything, is that this is a fucking DEI.
But do you know why?
But do you know why?
Do you know why? Hold on, listen. Because he was told. No, listen to what I'm saying.
He was told what? He didn't do his research?
No, yes, he didn't. He did not do his research.
You keep giving this guy fucking.
Hold on. Listen. He was told. He was originally told that it was a trans woman. That was the reason why he made that statement.
Fucking trans woman knew how to fucking fly helicopters and knew how to fucking run the fucking the fucking flight shit. Who gives a fuck?
Hold on, let me explain something. That pilot is the Army helicopter pilot is 100,000% at fault.
Yes, she is. She said she had visual fucking thing. But what I'm saying is,
she didn't even have her alarm on, dude.
Before he knew.
She didn't even have her alarm on. How bad can you fuck up? You don't even have your fucking sensors on.
That had nothing to do with who they are. That had nothing to do with who they are.
With who they are,
or what they are. Not who, but what they are.
And that's why I try to go back to what I'm saying. That's why I said about what I said about Kanye.
He made it a point to point it out.
About Kanye with his dumbass fucking KKK fucking shit.
All right, hold on. Let's talk about Kanye.
It's not about.
Hey, how about we reset, y'all? Hey, Hollywood.
It's about fucking.
Let's reset. Let's leave Donald Trump needs assassinated and go to another topic.
Okay, we definitely aren't saying that. We definitely aren't saying that.
Question for the
Especially
psychiatrist.
that was my job.
I have one question for the psychiatrist. Where did you get your degree so I can make sure I don't send my kids there?
Hey, that's cool. I only hope that you're not giving. Hey, I only hope that you're not giving Trump a rim job whenever he gets assassinated, because you're going to end up with his brains on you.
I just
So-
want to know where it was so I can warn people not to go there.
Yo,
Like
let's
I
go into
said,
some music
take
on
us out, O.
Power357radio.com. We are Late Night Lunchin, baby. Every Saturday from 9 to 11. You dirty bitches.
カニの爪あさる一つ一つ
I used to live on Campbellton Road. I ran a GA, worked at South the Cab Mall, cooking wings all day. Lived through 3 freak nicks while I banged out beats, and I broke down with pushing music in the streets. 2 years later, NYC, summer '97, hip hop history. Making music through the barrels, just a kid from West V, bad boy on the radio on that new Jay-Z. Used to ride through Manhattan, just banging my shit. Me, Blue Santana, West Indy, Big Fish. Off the back of the truck, I got my first MPC in Brooklyn. Now I'm cooking with Grace. Plant my flag in Dove V in 1999. Sound Vision is the crew, storytelling with the rhyme. Universally, we screaming motherfucking West V. Good food, good people, and we got those good trees.
カニの爪あさる一つ一つカニの爪あさる一つ
Yeah, yeah.
一つ
I arise from the depths of DC, leaving tracks in MD. Now I move through mountains, making tracks in Dub V. Initials are ME. Maybe you've heard of me. Used to go by Enigma, now it's a mystery. History I've rewritten from going slapping the spitting lines I'm delivering on beats, rhymes, low endings. Blood, sweat, and tears from peers trying to reach tears. Things I've seen from years of hanging with mountaineers. Oh, way to pivot from how I was living different. Told you to listen, you didn't, so now I'm living. It's not like I'm speaking a language you couldn't get with. You just haven't opened your eyes to see the vision. Should've seen in 2020 I'm the one that's ascended. Now everything sucks and you schmucks are codependent. I have the storm that I warned you before, cause by 2024 I want what's mine and yours. Enigma.
カニの爪あさる
Pikachu. Pikachu. Carne asada.
あさる
Pikachu.
Power357radio.com. We are Late Night Lunchin, baby. Every Saturday from 9 to 11. You dirty bitches. So I know everybody's getting heated. Everybody was getting excited. You know what I mean?
We just
So let's change shit up a little bit, man.
Real quick, I gotta say one thing.
All right, one thing.
Listen to me. This thing. No matter what our discussions are, I want everybody to know this is not personal. So please don't. You know, we're gonna get discussions. We're gonna discuss our beliefs and our feelings. Some of you are anti-Trump. Some of you are pro-Trump. Some of you are pro-gun. Some of you are pro-drinking. Some of you are pro-weed. We're all here to be friends. I'm married, so. But we're all here to be friends, and like I said, we'll get heated. So
I love you.
Dude, I just want to let you know, I'm pro Zoe.
Why can't we be friends?
Why
we
can't
be
we be friends?
Hey,
Exactly.
Bubs, if we show something on here that's of the pew pew style, will we get banned or
Nah, we good. Twitch are dirty
You pull your
Twitches too.
penis out, we'll get banned.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Hey,
shit.
yo.
We wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes on Facebook.
Hey, yo.
You guys like this?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a toy. That's that. I like. Yeah, that's that BB gun.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the BB gun.
I can see the
That's the
orange
BB
on the end
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. You might get us off for that.
So
Hey, Bubs. Hey, Bubs. Hey, Bubs. What we got going on? What we
Yeah,
got going on?
yeah.
for
Keep
tonight,
that off
though?
there, Mike. Keep that off there.
365.
Reno, did
TXL.
you just get here?
I'm gonna show you.
Huh?
Rose.
Did you
What we got
just
going
get
on,
here?
Zoe? Yeah. What's up, Zoe? What's going on, man?
Oh yeah, I think Zoe. We can go into your segments, Zoe. You got something you want to
Got
talk
some.
about?
Hit the music. That's it.
Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone. You already know that it's motherfucking on.
Zoe
Break
look
it
like
down.
Black Samurai.
The Last Samurai.
All right, cool. So, you know what I'm saying? We got something fresh. Something fresh. So,
What's up?
Are we
This is-
ready for that yet, Bob? Or we got to give him a couple minutes?
Give me
Yeah,
a
this is a little-
second. Give me a second. I'm gonna load them up.
All right, so let's go into this real quick. You know, before we go into the Zoe segment. So I was reading something the other day on I don't know, one of those fucking sites.
I'm
They were
actually good
saying,
at looking.
well, okay, let's go. You ready? Let's go.
Okay, do you see the screen on your screen?
We can see the screen on our screen.
All right, Zoe, we go ahead and set this clip up, Zoe. And tell us what you're doing first.
All right, cool. So, you know what I'm saying, we're trying something new out. Like I said, this is strictly off the cuff, so it's going to be a little bit rough. So, all right, check this out. I'm going to start bringing you from time to time some extremely paranormal and weird ass clips that I found off like the dark web and other places on the interwebs. And we're just basically going to judge whether this shit is real, whether it's fake, or whether it's possible.
Okay, so Zoe, is it real, fake, or possible?
All possible, yes.
Play this clip.
So it's Zoe or Fo,
First clip.
right?
In this scary video, a couple of kids are playing and having fun until this shocking event happens. Watch this.
Dude, I'm superstitious as shit. I didn't see this. Hold on.
Yo, Jeff, answer.
For the record, for a guy who deals with dead people all the time, I'm superstitious as shit.
What the fuck? Oh shit!
Yo, did you see the orb like right before it? Watch this. Watch the orb.
What the fuck?
Hold on.
What fucking orb?
From the right to the left. See it?
No.
Nah, I didn't see it.
No.
Watch.
That's in your head.
He smoked.
I saw it. No, I saw it.
Watch, it's at the bottom right screen. It's a little flash. You might not be able to see if you're looking on the phone.
I was gonna watch the video and then I got high.
See it?
Nah, I missed it. I'm blind.
You know that you can only see that on the big screen.
I think that's in Bub's eyes.
What the fuck though?
Hey, yo.
The Jonas grabbing the little bitch. Oh shit, bitch!
Hey yo, are they playing a Ouija board? Joe?
Happens.
What are they doing?
So
What the
hold
fuck is
on,
that?
what are we looking
What
at
the
right
fuck
there
is
in the
that? What
corner?
the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck is that motherfucker doing? In the
Somebody
fucking
getting choked out.
Nah,
No,
the motherfuckers over
no.
there doing like
This motherfucker
chin-ups
over
or
here.
something. Like what the
Yeah.
fuck?
It looked like somebody was choking her ass out.
So is there context to
No.
this though? Is there
Motherfucker that
context?
Watch
No, there's absolutely no context. A
Come
lot
here,
of folks
bitch.
are
Come here,
calling-
bitch. Come here, bitch.
A whole lot of folks are saying that it's some poltergeist shit.
So I see over like
Carolina.
I see it over in the doorway where like earlier we saw like a
A bitch
fucking
doing aerobics and some
a
shit.
figment or something. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Wow.
I thought it was her mom like
I
doing
thought
chin
it-
ups and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh my God! We didn't see that shit. Yo, look!
Oh, is there money on the ground? Is this some stripper shit?
Look at this shit, bro!
Never seen it.
Oh shit!
They
What the
dip
fuck
right
is that?
shit.
Did
They
this
was
bitch
out
just
there.
crab walk?
Another orb.
They said,
Superstitious. Yeah.
fuck that, we out here.
Somebody got possessed, yo. Look at that shit.
See the orb? Watch the orb. Right when she gets through the door, you'll see this right there, and watch another one. Boom.
I saw it that time. I thought it was a piece of dust. Yo, I don't know what it is.
Is that motherfucker crawling?
That's that crab walk that they be doing when they get possessed and shit.
Yeah,
That shit
man.
scurry.
That shit is scary as a motherfucker. Thank you, mama. That shit.
All right, we're gonna next. Go ahead, Zoe. We're gonna set up the next. Man, that shit was crazy. Though, what the fuck? You be on the web and shit? Damn.
So let me say this.
That shit happened in
I
Zoe
be finding
house.
some shit. You know what I'm saying? I be finding some shit on that joint.
Did I ever explain the man in the black hat to you guys yet, Mike? Did I ever explain that to you yet?
Look, here
When we get done, Zoe might appreciate the man in the black hat. Let me tell that story when we're done.
All right, so when we get done with this, we're going to go to the drunken cellar with the man with the black hat. And we're not talking about the cat in the hat, right? All right, let's go.
No.
Do y'all still see the screen?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
like some weirdo, like holding his finger up and shit. Look like Michael Jackson's son.
All right, y'all. Now check this joint out. I said this is another hot one.
Oh shit!
I think fuck that. I'm out of there.
Ghost
about to get some
still
pussy.
out of there.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yo, that's definitely Reno.
That's the go. That's Reno Ghost and shit. About to get some white pussy.
I'm white and I'm still out of there.
In and out, leaving no shadows.
Yeah, I don't fuck with them jumps. Oh shit!
Damn. So we'll do the next. Then we'll do the next joint, and then we'll see if it's real or not. Like we'll.
All right. Sometimes I get drunk, right, and I'll be like, "Damn, how'd I wake up naked?"
This one's wild.
That's just something that happens when you hot, bro. You just take your clothes off and shit.
Right, how wind up
All right,
naked? I
number 3.
With my drawers on.
Anybody want to get a review on a bourbon whiskey?
At least my ass wasn't sore.
That would be terrible.
Y'all see that?
Contradiction.
It's a graveyard or something.
Can't really.
I don't
see
like
it.
this music. This shit is spooky.
You don't see that little creature up in the back in the middle?
Oh,
That shit look wild. Wow.
Oh, that's some good shit right there. Damn.
That shit's freaky.
Smooth contradiction.
Go ahead, Zoe.
Smooth.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I'm gonna call possible on all 3 of these, but the first one, I'm leaning more in the direction of it being staged.
Okay, like a TikTok and
There
shit.
you go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they just use some homemade special effects, just, you know what I'm saying, to sort of pull that off, which is why we kept seeing the flashes of the orb.
Ah, good.
Okay.
Catching the camera blinking there. So, though, since you're doing this stuff, now, I don't think, were you on last time I was here when I tell you what my job is? But you know my job, I actually work with dead people. So, I'm a medical legal death investigator. I see dead people. I do all the time.
he
So,
touches dead
Listen to
people.
this shit, Zoe.
So, so basically, I firmly believe I'm a very superstitious person. I've been a medic for a very long time, and I believe in superstition. Energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. So understand that human body,
Law 2,
energy.
second law in thermodynamics.
Yep. So, again, physics, science, the whole 9 yards. So I go back to, there's 2 stories apart to this that have haunted me forever. I'm walking in New York City. I'm going down the street, and a lady who I presume was either a gypsy or some type of that savant type thing stops in the middle of the road, looks at me and says, "Bad, bad, bad." Waves her hands like this, turns around, walks away from me, walks down the street and goes across the street and then walks back down. So now I've got a lot of bodies on me. I've seen a lot of bad calls in my career. Probably my first one. I still remember the smell of the room to this day. I remember the little girl. Like I said, you don't forget this shit that I've seen. So a couple months ago, about a year and a half ago, I should say, I'm standing in a house, and for many years I've always seen shadows. So as I'm walking around and I'm on scenes with bodies, something catches you in the glimpse of your eye. And if you guys have ever felt something and the hair stand up on the back of your neck or something, and you realize you're not alone, I've had this type of experience multiple times in my career. And you remember, I've been around I've to this day I've probably been near close to 4,000 or 5,000 dead bodies just as a part of my career in terms of dealing with them. And I'll tell you, I always try to do, dignity in death, trying to be, respectful of that thing and understanding that, you're dealing with somebody's loved one and that kind of stuff. So I'm sitting in a house a couple of years, about, like I said, a year and a half ago, and I kept seeing this shadow cross my eyes. And I'm like, damn, that's really fucked up. One of the cops that's on the scene with me looks at me and goes, "You all right?" I'm like, he goes, you seem a little startled. I'm like, well, something just keeps going past my eye. I'm probably just seeing shit. And he goes, "Man in the black hat." And I went, "Oh, fuck you." So Zoe, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, search "man in the black hat" on the internet. So I'm talking to this guy, and I'm like, yeah, I said, I see a black shadow figure that crosses into my periphery all the time. So and he goes, does the guy have a black hat? So I'm like, yes, he does. And so he tells me, he goes, I lived in my house and I just recently moved out. And he goes, a friend of mine moved into the same apartment, after he moved out. And he calls him up like 6 months after he moves in and says, hey, when were you going to tell me about the guy with the black hat that comes into the house every night? Like, fuck me. Now, to this time, now I've been in this career for 35 years. I've never heard of this story about the man in the black hat. So I hear having somebody else tell me about the shit that I'm seeing that I've never discussed with anybody, not even my closest partners, because I thought I was going crazy. I'm like, I'm seeing shit. Come to find out, search "man in the black hat." It could be either good or bad, depending on which kind of rabbit hole you go down to and depending on what your beliefs are. But basically, it's either an evil spirit or it's a spirit that helps you pass over to kind of like the angel of death, and the toll, what's the guy who does the toll?
Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper. But what's the other one that takes the tolls when you're going to the River Hades?
Chiron. It takes you across the River Styx.
So the River Styx. So there's portions of this that tie in multiple different cultures and religions that all tie back to the same guy. And I'm like, that's fucking freaky. And I'm like, so if you really want to go down a rabbit hole, man with the black hat. You like that, Zoe?
What'd you say, Zoe? It sounds like Papa Shaba.
Papa Shango. Papa Shango.
Yeah,
Well, tell us what that is, Zoe, and then let's go back to the videos.
No, 3 videos.
Papa Shango is the voodoo priestess that will, or should I say, he's a voodoo priest that'll take you, that'll basically take you to the other side. He's known to wear a black.
You gotta collect your soul.
Yep, and he's known to wear a black top hat.
Yeah.
So here's the kicker.
Baba Jango, Baba Luaye.
So I spent a bunch of time in Haiti, and again, I've talked to a lot of guys, and I have a very large Haitian community that I have dealt with, and again, we're always trying to be respectful of religious customs, especially when what people, especially when they come to medical examiners. Again, Islam, Judaism, the Haitians with the voodoo, we try to be very respectful of those customs and try to respect them as much as we possibly can. And I am a student of trying to learn, because this knowledge is king, knowledge is power.
Exactly.
But the whole point is that particular thing, this man in the black hat, is shown up in Catholicism, has shown up in Buddhism, has shown up in, obviously I didn't know that was in the voodoo, the Haitian culture, Buddhism. So it's in many different cultures as many different things. And again, sometimes it's a good presence and many people find it to be comforting, and, they see and it's normally in relation to somebody dying in and around them, or people have said they've seen the black hat and then they died shortly thereafter. Or some people have seen it whereas, the man in the black hat showed up at the foot of their bed and somebody in their family had died at that exact time. Like, it's creepy shit. Like, and again, I'm very superstitious, and, there's powers in this world that, we just don't know anything about. So I'll tell you,
there are powers that we don't know. There are colors that we don't see.
Exactly. It's just. Go ahead.
We know it's really about just the connection with the universe is as Stella was saying. It's like when buzzards flock, but they know, they like, we see it on the cartoons, we see it on the movie, we see buzzards flying over you. You laugh at it, whatever these motherfuckers about to get you. No, motherfucker, they know you about to go. Like, I work with somebody, man. I work with somebody.
That is like, a true story.
That's the truest thing of it all. Like, they fucking know that you about to go. Like, I work with a lady.
The day my fiance passed away. The day my fiance passed away, Bubs know. the date my fiance passed away on August 11th, 2003. She passed away, and I usually sleep with my balcony door open, like during the hot summer months, right?
23.
I come downstairs. I'm in the
Because air
townhome.
conditioning is expensive.
I come downstairs and there's a fucking crow literally sitting right here on the fucking table.
No way.
Wow. That's
Literally,
fucking nuts.
And I found out 2 hours later that she passed away.
And crows are
Ravens?
spiritual.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Ravens are.
Ravens. I mean, Edgar Allan Poe knew it. I mean, it's. I mean, there's truth to the universe and animals, and I mean, there's a connection. There's a connection with all living beings. It is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why during tsunamis and during these tidal waves and things, these animals know when to retreat. When there's a wildfire, they know when before it happens. They know that the
but we
tsunami's coming.
don't.
They know.
That's
we
why
don't.
we need to pay attention to nature.
We don't. Exactly.
Well, there is a theory. There is a theory that we are actually aliens and not of this world, the human race.
We really tapped into real selves, we would be able to tell. You know what I'm saying? We're just so fucking preoccupied with other shit.
Well, because of the distraction.
Yeah. But hold on, Bubs. What about when your hair stands up on your neck? How many times have all of us on this panel, have been in a situation where we? So I said about being clairvoyant, but it's about. I mean, I do believe we do have that ability.
Trust your gut.
I think we do have that. I think humans do have that ability.
I think we do, but I think we ignore it. I remember when I used to be at my mom's house and I used to take a shower. Like every once in a while, I would feel like this cold breeze and like, I would get
Dirty Harry.
It was Dirty Harry. He was sneaking in.
It was Dirty Harry. No, but you're right, Zella. Go ahead, Zella. You're right. I mean, it's true. I believe we have that innate quality.
But we just say, it's nothing. It's nothing. But that's what we got to do, right? Because otherwise we'd be spooked as fuck. Could you imagine your whole life just being spooked? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Ethel.
Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah.
Like you've had like a lot of experiences. Don't you think that there's one that actually follows you from house to house or something?
I believe that shit.
I'll tell you a story, and
we talked about this before.
I know the difference from a dream and reality.
You told us that, but go ahead.
I had a friend that died, and it was just like I was young. It was kind of like really the first death I ever went through. It was a very, very good friend, and I just couldn't get over it. It was months. I mean, months, and I was just still grieving like it happened that day. And I was asleep one night, and I sat up. And I fell asleep on the couch and I had my robe over me and I sat up and I put my robe over me and my apartment was dark and through the window, it was a yellow reddish light and it was real hazy, like the haziest summer day you've ever seen. And he was sitting right next to me. He didn't look at me. All he said was, he said, "I'm happy where I'm at. Don't worry about me." And after that day, I never grieved again.
And this was your friend?
Very good friend.
She's actually.
It wasn't a dream. I know the difference of dream and reality.
He's actually lived in a house that the family actually calls the spook house.
Yeah.
I mean, that joint, man, I haven't seen ghosts per se, but I've seen ghosts like, or entities, energy, whatever you want to call them. That's what I'd rather call them. Influence people to be evil. I almost had somebody, like literally.
So you sure it wasn't the liquor?
One night, bro.
You hear about the guy who got the freaking...
Which house was it?
In Nanjamoy.
Yep.
And look, people, the day they moved, they put the last thing on the back of the truck and the fucking door slammed. Nobody in the house.
Yeah, get the fuck out, motherfuckers. It's time to go.
The guy that got the body parts from a serial killer. He got an organ transplant, and within a couple of years, he took on the traits of the serial killer.
No, I haven't heard about that. That's a good one.
I haven't heard about that shit.
So basically, this guy ends up getting a freaking heart transplant from a serial killer who had basically died. And within a couple of years, he took on the traits of that person and ended up having the same fate as the other guy did too. So like this is, like you said, energy can't be created nor destroyed. So, evil, again, yin and the yang, good and the bad, the good and the evil. There's some religions that believe in evil, some that don't, but I've personally witnessed pure evil in my career, and people like, you're fucking crazy. I'm like, I've witnessed it, but I'll give you. So you guys all familiar with Cape May, New Jersey? Anybody familiar with that? So
Where? Where?
Cape May,
New Jersey.
Yeah, Cape May's dope.
So,
Go ahead.
So you talk about these places that have been around since the 1600s, the 1700s, the Salem witch trials, all that crazy bullshit. So there's actually like ghost tours and anywhere a lot of people have died. So a buddy of mine bought the Anglesey pub a few years ago before he sold it. And as a part of that, I was helping him do a bunch of plumbing and stuff in there in the Anglesey pub. And again, I'm a very superstitious person. I believe that energy, there's spirits and all kinds of crazy stuff out there. So the Anglesey pub in North Wildwood, New Jersey, again, Cape May, go back to Cape May, they have like the ghost tours of all these places that have confirmed paranormal, and Zoe might want to look that up, confirmed paranormal stuff. Like they actually make their living off of like crazy shit that's happened in these places over the years. But the Anglesey pub obviously has been there since, I believe, close to the 1600s and 1800s, multiple variations of a building. But it was originally a boarding house for sick people, for sick fishermen back in the 1800s or early 1700s. So a lot of people ended up dying in this place. And apparently the caretaker was this crazy ass woman, like a midwife, like nursemaid type person. So I'm here working in this place, and it's December. We're setting up for the spring or fall. I'm doing a boiler system in the building. Now, we worked on the first 2 floors most of the time, but as a part of me doing my work, I had to go up on the 3rd floor, which was pretty much vacant. Now, this place has been a boarding house in the last 200 years. It's, it's been all kinds of people have actually died in this place over the years. And I'm up on the 3rd floor, and a buddy of mine tells me before I leave, he's like, hey, if you get a little wigged out, just leave a little glass of whiskey on the windowsill, you'll be fine. Doesn't tell me anything else about it. So I'm up on the 3rd floor, and again, I'm superstitious. I'm not really paying attention to anything, and I'm just working. I'm doing the boiler, and all of a sudden I feel something graze the back of my neck, just like a fingernail. You ever had somebody hit a fingernail on the back of your neck? Now I'm in Carhartt. I'm sweating. I'm working on the boiler. I'm soldering shit. I'm moving pipes around. So I'm like, I'm not cold at all. I got chilled to the bone. Like, you ever been out in the cold and all of a sudden realize like you just can't get warm for at all? Like, you gotta go like a bath or something.
Yeah.
I feel this thing go up my neck. The hair stands up on my body. Now I'm bald now, but I wasn't bald then. And like that, my hair stands up and I got cold. Like it was rigid. Like all of a sudden, so I walk down. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I walk downstairs to the bar. Now again, I got full access to the bar. It's 3:00 in the morning. I grab a fucking glass of whiskey. I take a fucking shot. I grab another one. I grab another glass for her. I walk upstairs, put the glass of whiskey on the windowsill. Now I will tell you, over the next 3 months that I'm working in here, I put a new glass of whiskey on that windowsill every night. It was never drank, so we're not going to go crazy like that. But I replaced that glass of whiskey.
I ain't gonna lie.
I replaced that glass of whiskey every night, and never bothered me ever since then. But I was like, I tell you something, I felt that in the back of my neck, and I still get like chills just thinking about it. I'm like, that was the. And again, I was just standing there, I was looking at the radiator. I wasn't interacting. There was nobody else there, and all of a sudden, I just felt that, and I'm like, and there was no reason. Like there was nothing on the back of my head.
Yeah.
There was nothing around me anywhere, and I just, like I said, I felt that go like, fuck this shit. Power, people. There's all kinds of energy and spirits out there.
That's true. That's true. And I think that's the reason why, like people always say, like you get, like atheists, and they're like, oh, there's no Jesus, there's no God, there's no this. And I'm thinking to myself, how could there only be evil? Like, don't you want to believe that if there's so much evil and there's all of these fucking like these spirits that are like mischievous, don't you think you want to believe that there's a protector?
No
Hold
doubt.
on. I'll take that cue, man. You said mischievous, but I have had a large number of supernatural experiences since I was a child. I mean, my first one occurred when I was about 5 years old, and I had about 6 or 7 different experiences up until when I was about 18, and I kind of felt like I kind of feel some people are a magnet for these things in the sense that maybe they're just more receptive, so that part of their brain is more open. And the thing is when I went to college, I stopped having any form of supernatural experiences, and the only thing I could look at that had changed at that time was I started consuming a shit ton of alcohol. So
that's why it's called spirits. That's why it's called spirits.
Right.
No, but it got rid of the spirits though. Like it did the opposite.
Legitimately, I feel like drinking so much may have kind of like dumbed down or muted that part of me that was a conduit, you know?
It numbed your spiritual
You're the psychiatrist, right? You're the psychiatrist, right?
I work in mental health, yeah.
Okay. So did you hear the story about the little kid that all of a sudden started basically saying that he was this World War II pilot that had died in action? This kid knew things that nobody should have known about this pilot.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So there's a theory that, again, if you believe in the reincarnation and the spirits and all that stuff, there's a theory that most kids know, and the reason why you cry when you are born is because you remember the life that you had and that you are forgetting it as you were born, and the light that you're seeing obviously is you coming out of the birth canal. But there's a theory that you're being reborn into a new life, and obviously you can't speak, which means you can't tell what you know, which is why that it's so frustrating.
And then
so
you forget it.
But you know what though? But I tell you what,
there's a theory about the.
There's truth to that. There's drug. I mean, there's definitely truth to that, Dylan. Just go on though, but I want to inject after you go. But yeah, there's definitely truth to that.
I've worked in. So I used to live in an apartment building that in the past, back in the like 30s or 40s, had been a Salvation Army hospital in Morgantown. And the thing is, there was definitely a spirit in my apartment, and it seemed to be a friendly, non-malevolent spirit. Whenever I was an addiction counselor for 5 years when I moved to Pennsylvania, we were in the site of the former J&L Steel medical building, which is where our facility, our treatment facility, was located. So lots of people had died in that building, and there were experiences. And now I work in a hospital, and I've
Don't go in the morgue.
things in there as well. So I feel that these medical facilities where people have legitimately passed tend to have a high degree of those experiences. But I want to share one specific experience though that I had. It was the first one I had after years of not having any. I lived in a townhouse.
Like some pussy.
I lived with my girlfriend at the time, and I was in the townhouse by myself. She was at class. I was on the second floor, right at the top of the stairs. Across from it is the bathroom, and I was in there taking a shower. Now, my tablet that I used to have that I listened to Spotify on was turned off and closed, and it had one of those cases that when you close it, you know what I mean, the thing won't turn back on. It keeps it off, right? So I'm in the shower, and all of a sudden, I start hearing music. And a little background: my little brother passed away, from drugs. And the thing, I've been wondering why, like, a lot of people say they communicate with you afterwards, and I was like wanting that, and it hadn't happened. But I start hearing this music, and I'm listening. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's here? And I go out. I'm yelling, thinking my girl had come back from class early. She's not there. Nobody's there. The tablet, which was powered off and had the case closed, turned itself on, went into the program, and started playing Tupac's "Life Goes On." I shit you not. Nobody.
Now,
was
was
there.
that your brother's song? Like, was that the song that he really fucked with like that?
It was the song that I associated with him after he passed.
Okay.
And there was a couple other times after that where real hard shit was going on, and I'm just listening to random music, and in my random music, I got like 25,000 songs saved, and that hard, I'd be sitting there and having that hard time and thinking about it, and boom, that song came on. It happened like.
And that's a
3-4
great
times.
record too. I just want to go on the record and say that is a great record. That's one of my favorite Tupac records. But go ahead, Biz.
Mr. Vince, quick question for you, bro.
What's that?
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
So is that why you actually work in mental health addiction now? Is it because of your brother?
You know, to be honest,
They was hybrid.
The easy answer to that, the easy answer to that is, ever since I was a kid, people were always sharing their problems with me. Even when I was a kid, the adults would always talk to me. I'd be in, they'd be sharing adult business with me. I was always like progressed in the mature conversations and shit, and people always naturally just came to me and dropped all their problems on me. So I always kind of knew I'd be involved in that. But going into specifically addiction counseling, which was a change from what I had been doing in mental health, was definitely because of my brother passing away from opiates and shit. So yeah,
I mean, I give you props, bro. That's a special group of people. I mean, I've been in this field a long time, and I don't have the patience for it. I honestly don't. But they're, the mental health and addiction specialist guys that get involved in that, that's a special group of people, man. You guys you're behind the 8 ball every day, and I give you a lot of credit for jumping into that realm, because that's a tough place to be. And unfortunately, when I see them, it's often way too late, and I shake my head, because I tell everybody right now, in the last 5 years, the true crisis is estranged elderly, suicides, and drug overdoses. Those are the three things.
I appreciate it, and I loved the work. Sadly, I'm just a therapist on the inpatient psych unit now, and and that's got stories for fucking days.
My wife was a psych nurse for many years, so I can appreciate that. But the mental health guy is not my forte. I give a lot of good advice, but you guys got your hands, and I give you a lot of credit, brother, for jumping into that realm, because that is a special place to be for a lot of guys.
Well, let's go to Hollywood. Hold on, let's go to Hollywood, because Hollywood wanted to talk about this. Go ahead, Hollywood.
I mean, just to go back to what Arcella was saying, and even Mizzo was saying, your mind does play tricks on you, right? It plays tricks on you. So you always have to question, am I really seeing this? Am I seeing what I'm seeing? Am I looking at what the fuck I'm looking at, right? So I have
Is this bitch blowing me?
Yeah, right. Is she blowing me? She not. I mean, what the fuck is going on? So it's like, I lived in an apartment. I lived in an apartment building on Rhode Island Avenue for 8 years, and it was 100, like 25 years old, and a rack of shit went down in that jump. So just to speak to what they were saying, because I'm like, is my mind playing tricks on me? So my wife and I were like in the crib, whatever, we're in our room, and so my apartment, apparently before I moved in, it was a maintenance office in the basement of this old ass apartment, a big ass maintenance office. The joint burned down. Somehow the joint was caught on fire, or whatever, mysteriously caught on fire. The joint burned down. They turned it into an apartment. This apartment complex, this apartment building's been in for 125 years. One night, my wife and I
bodies?
I don't know. Well, one night, my wife and I go. Well, this goes back to saying, is my mind playing tricks on me or not? So we're going to bed, and we have our windows open. So usually, I kind of think I'm kind of like, I'm connected to like the universe and shit. I kind of think like,
your windows open in DC. Man, you got a death wish.
If the windows are open, the spirits can't fuck with you, right? That's kind of like, that's my mind. That's my mind. That's my mind. That's right.
Maybe that's why my windows are
Hollywood. That's what the old timers say, bro. They say, you sleep with the windows closed, because spirits will come in.
Year round.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, so the whole thing with
and the crackheads,
your mind playing tricks on you, right? So we were about to go to bed. We went to cut the fucking light off, and in our bedroom, now it's me and my wife. In our
sleep
bedroom,
with a nightlight.
We heard not yet. I heard it. I heard
Oh yeah, this is a crazy story, y'all.
A little girl a little girl say not yet. She's like, not yet. Now,
that was a crackhead.
Now,
Gone.
could have been a crackhead. It could have been. Now, what I'm saying, not yet, right? Not yet. Now, I'm thinking, is my mom playing fucking tricks with me? For my wife.
Now, was you fucking your wife at the time?
My wife. We just finished. But what I'm saying is, she heard the same voice, same tone, same everything,
Fucking
same
out,
everything.
dude.
Not yet. Now, how the fuck? We both heard it. It wasn't loud. It wasn't like, from outside. It was like right next to our bed. Not yet. Now, how the fuck? I heard it, and she heard it.
Gone.
So how much? He said, "I'm gone." How the fuck much? How
Dirty Harry under your bed.
Could I think after all
Yeah,
these
not
years,
yet. I'm still gripping up.
I'm
Not
still
yet.
doing my thing.
Man, I would have got the fuck out of there. You didn't move? Did you move?
Yeah, eventually I did move, but yeah, not
Yeah, I
yet.
would have got the fuck out of there.
We
That's what
both
my
Not
wife.
yet.
we
No,
both
not
heard
yet
it.
would have been like right now.
Hey, look, that's what my wife
I'm
says
good.
every
Y'all can have
Saturday.
that.
She says, "Not yet," and I'm like, "Yeah, yet."
Wait, I got a question for you dirty bitches that's related to this. How many of y'all motherfuckers in here have ever gotten ghost head?
Dirty Harry has. I know he has.
I have.
I think Spade probably
Ghost
has
head?
too.
What is going on? Hold on. Elaborate on ghost head.
Hold on, I was hoping Reno would elaborate because that's the dirtiest motherfucker.
That was not on my bingo card for the win.
Ghost said it was probably Reno.
Yo, ghost head is when you get head when you're asleep. When you're sleeping and your girl surprises
that
you.
what it is?
Is that ghost head? Oh my
Lunch
god!
out with Dirty Harry and the Frat Boys on Power
haven't had that.
357 Radio.
And I had that
I used to get ghost head before I got married.
before I got married too. Yeah, bro, yeah.
No,
No more.
no,
No more.
I was gonna say ghost head is where you woke up with the feeling like it was occurring to you, but you were by yourself and nothing was there.
Oh yeah, that's called premature.
The big question is, Skrills.
Dream.
Hey,
That's
yo,
called
the
a wet
real
dream.
question. The real question is, would you let it keep doing it?
I mean,
Maybe.
you don't see
Zoe,
anything.
I want to know what Zoe says about this. Zoe,
Zoe's done it.
if you woke up and a ghost was giving you some top, would you let it keep doing it?
No,
Yeah,
hold on,
Zoe.
for clarification, Zoe, before you go in, is it a man or a woman?
It's a woman. It's definitely a woman.
And how does she look?
Whatever you
talk
want it to
about
look
that.
like. Whatever you want it to look like. Would you let that ghost continue to suck your junk?
Hey yo,
Looks like Carrie. She looks like
hey, yo,
Carrie Fisher.
Hey yo, she says
Carrie Fisher?
100%.
Wait, old Carrie Fisher or
Hey, yo, Zoe. I tell everybody, if y'all cry at my funeral, every time you yawn, I'm gonna stick my dick in your mouth.
Fucked up.
Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie. Like,
What character
the
are you
head, I
talking
don't
about?
care what they look like.
I want y'all to know.
Star Wars Carrie Fisher? Who are you talking about?
No, he said Carrie Fisher, and I asked old Carrie Fisher or current.
Yes,
Definitely
can't be current.
Oh,
Because she's dead as a motherfucker.
Yeah, she's a
Go ahead,
dead.
Reno, I can't hear you, bro. Go ahead, what are you saying?
Who's the little bitch from The Exorcist? Linda Blair?
Yeah.
Talking about the kid, dog?
Oh yeah,
That's what I meant to say. That's who I meant to say. What if it was Linda Blair? The
Oh, yeah,
Exorcist bitch.
Oh, no, I'm thinking about the poltergeist.
Hey, yo, we was talking about Papa. We was talking about. We was talking about Papa Shango earlier and shit. We was talking about Papa Shango earlier, and fucking Kel said that's a fucking WWE wrestler. What the fuck y'all talking about?
It is.
it is, but it's based off of some voodoo shit. That's all.
Would anybody other than Zoe allow an extraterrestrial to give him head though?
Ooh.
Fuck no.
Yeah, because you know, extraterrestrials are they and them.
It just depends on what movie they're coming from.
Your dick ain't never gonna
It depends on if they got 3 titties or 4 titties.
Your dick ain't gonna be the same after that, cuz.
No, here's a good one. Here's a good one. What's the chick? What's the blue chick from X-Men? How many people would let that bitch give you head?
Mystique.
Hell
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, all the time. I say, turn yourself into Zoe Saldana real quick.
I'm in.
Even when
That
she was
Dr.
Rebecca
Bitch?
Stamos and shit.
That bitch who be blocking,
I'm
who be
all in.
blocking all the shit, all the diamond bitch.
I'm
Like that
all in.
bitch.
Blue joints, green joints,
Which one is it?
orange joints.
Okay, I got a question for
Purple
y'all.
joints.
I got a question for you. If a ghost let you have sex with him, would you nut in him?
A ghost?
Yeah.
Well, how
Hell
does it
no.
go to look?
I am.
So I mean, so hold on. If you're not gonna nut in them, what are you gonna do? Bust off in their face or something? I mean, what are you gonna do?
It's gonna fall right through and shit. Like what the
Josh
fuck?
said, is that called a
Gonna get all over your
succubus?
sheets.
Hey,
Hey,
yo,
bro.
Josh said, is that called a succubus?
Yo,
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
I'm talking about a Hollenberg ghost.
Right now.
Succubus.
Hold on. I want to, since Drunken Sailor has been giving us so much education tonight, I want to give y'all a piece of information
Yeah, man.
you might not know. So when a hooker lets out a fart, it's actually called a prostitute. A prostitute.
Are we doing the dad
Prostitute.
joke version
Yeah,
of the
no,
Nite
I
Lunchin?
get it. Okay.
That's a dirty, that's a
We need some
dirty ass
jokes in the
dad
house.
joke.
Yeah.
Though. I wouldn't tell it.
I just wanted to let y'all know that it was my turn to educate. You know.
We need some drums and a hi-hat.
Next week. You will have it next week.
No, but I mean, but I mean that's a thing. But look, as a man, how many men actually care what the woman looks like when she's giving them head?
Me.
You know what I'm saying?
Me.
Oh,
Me.
Close your fucking
Not me.
eyes.
I
Not
care.
Close your eyes.
I care.
I have a barren field of fucks, and I have none to give.
Exactly. That's the only time you don't have to worry about what her face looks like is when she's giving you head.
So what y'all saying is y'all done paid a crackhead $5 to suck your dick.
No, I ain't had to pay no crack.
No, sir.
Yeah, that's just a ball of crack. That ain't got nothing to do with no money.
No, I didn't pay him $5. I let the crackhead suck my dick for free.
God damn.
Y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up.
That was
You know,
wild.
I remember when I was growing up, there was this crackhead that lived in the neighborhood, and the guys was telling me, man, yo, everybody fucking Shorty. You ain't trying to fuck Shorty. I was like, nah, I ain't trying to fuck Shorty. She was like some old ass. I mean, I guess now she probably would only been like in her 50s. So, you know, if you really think about it, because we were young, right? But everybody was fucking this crackhead, yo. Like everybody in the neighborhood. But she looked like she got hit by a car, and I just couldn't fuck with her.
Look. if the statement is everybody is, not
There's
for
a
me,
couple
bro.
bad joints around the way that I heard what it was about.
But if I would have woke up and she would give me some head, I wouldn't have said no. That's all I'm saying. When you getting ghost head, it don't matter what the fuck they look like.
I know. That's some creepy shit, man.
Thank you for participating in Monsters here.
You know, I don't know how many people feel like this, but I feel like when I think back to like my wet dreams, I think they were like the best sex of my life.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
God damn. Think about it. Is that the truth or really not? I mean, you gotta. That's something to think about.
It was pretty fucking amazing. The only thing I can say though is like I felt really fucking like slimy and naughty when I was fucking like sneaking through the hallway trying to get to the fucking the washcloths and shit.
You
Yeah,
wanna
what's
laugh
up?
your ass off right now?
I want to laugh my ass off. It's late night luncheon.
Y'all know who my first wet dream was too?
Not me,
Yo,
right? It's somebody else.
You about to drop the bomb. Fucking Peggy Bundy, son.
Oh my God!
Peggy Bundy.
How young are you?
That was my wet dream. You remember Peggy
Oh,
Bundy was bad, though.
How young are you?
Peggy Bundy was bad as shit.
This motherfucker didn't
That's
say
definitely not
Peggy
old
Bundy. He
at
said
all. That's definitely
I
not
said
old.
Peggy.
At
Hey,
least
tell
he
me
didn't
man.
say
Wow.
Tell me you want to fuck
Bundy.
Peggy Bundy. Tell me you want to fuck Peggy Bundy, Screw.
I would.
Shit. Most people will fuck Peggy Bundy down, and she's got to be damn near 70.
Hold on. You know who definitely would have
Yeah,
fucked
but married with
Bundy?
children.
Breeze.
Married with
Breeze
children,
would
Peggy
definitely
Bundy
fuck
was
Peggy
no
Bundy because
different.
he's a senior citizen.
Back then, anyway.
Yo, she used to have those little green tights on and shit. You can see her little
Oh,
pussy print. Her
ow.
little pussy print. I was like, okay, damn.
And that
Oh,
was
the
his
whole-
thing. Like Al never wanted to fuck. Al was like, "Oh
bullshit.
God,
I'm like,
man,
yo,
are
we
you
supposed to
I'm in
ban
serious?"
that
total
joint out?
agreement, Rito. I'm in total agreement.
I'm like, yo, what's up, Al?
You
Yo,
know,
who
the fact
would
is,
who would have
Peg
thought
never been
Al
getting
was
ran
down
about
with the
something.
Brown?
What?
Who would have thought Al was down with the Brown? Have you seen his daughter?
No.
Al Bundy's daughter's mixed, yo. Like Google that shit. I'm talking about the real guy. Like, what's
Ed
his
O'Neill.
name?
Ed
Dutch?
Ed O'Neill. Ed O'Neill.
Jay Pritchard? Yeah, that guy.
He's down. He's down with Diddy. He's
Well,
down with
he's-
Diddy.
he
and
is-
Jay.
he is
He's
from Chicago.
down with Diddy. and Jay.
Put your headphones back on.
Shit, everybody's down
He
with
from
Diddy and
Chicago.
Jay. Shit, even Oprah.
I'm just saying. I mean, he hangs out with I don't know. I'm not that surprised by it actually. I don't know.
I was like, when I saw his daughter, I was like, damn. Like, I wonder what the baby mama looked like. You know what I'm saying?
So let's just be straightforward here, and I'll probably sit here and say that anybody in this forum here at this moment, other than Ethel, might actually sit there and say, if you put any woman in front of us, regardless of the shade of the melanin that she presents with, and that person was willing to,
fuck. Yeah.
pretty much, you ain't turning that down. So, and if she locks her legs around you, you ain't stopping. So just put that out there right now.
Hey, Jungle Seller, where you at? Get your ass back on the screen.
You know, stuck off to drink some bourbon.
Hey, we all black when the lights go out.
You know, I just got to say that I'm always straightforward because I'm never gay forward. Just saying.
Hey, look, I used to say back in the day, when the lights go dim, I'm African. But when the lights go dim, I'm actually Chinese.
Not even for $20, Mischievous? 20
No,
bucks? 20 bucks.
not for any bucks, bro.
Oh my God.
No bucks. That is a philosophical question that I always know the answer to. No matter what the bucks offered was, there ain't no gay for a day or even gay for a village.
You ain't trying to do nothing strange for a little bit of change?
Nah, man, listen, no. Like I said, no amount of money is going to make me stray in that way. No, sir.
Look,
Thank you.
Everybody's got a price, dude. Everybody's got a price. Everybody name the price.
I don't think my butthole got a price. I don't know.
Listen, I'm trying to uphold the sanctity and the respectability of this program. So I don't think that is a topic of conversation.
Nah.
Can we all drink to that?
We can all drink to that.
Yeah, we can all drink. If we can drink to anything, it's that.
Yes,
we need some Cheetos too.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
Where the hell did we just go?
That's how it happens. It happens like that on Late Night Luncheon, and it happens fast. You start with ghosts, then you get head from a ghost, and then you talk about buttholes. I mean, shit happens fast, dude. We're talking, what is it, 1.21 gigawatts or whatever the fuck that Doc Brown used to say? Yeah, the shit happens fast.
I mean, I blame Zoe for getting weird.
Every time I see Zoe, shit gets weird.
Zoe took us there tonight.
The weird.
Hey, look, I apologize for hijacking the show. Things just got out of control real fast and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm totally and absolutely trash. It was caught off guard. So you gotta excuse me. You know what I'm saying?
So
Things
here's
will
the
get better
question.
soon.
Here's the question I want to know. So, do we actually know if any of that was true? Like all of those videos? I know we talked about this like a half hour ago, but were any of those videos true? Like, do we have proof of it, or is this all like speculation?
Speculation, dark web.
No, all of it's speculation, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, dude, until they actually capture encrypted and they have the shit on television of some sort, I'm not a 100% believer. I'm absolutely 50-50. But I just know right now we live in a really, really weird time
of a bunch of really, really weird ass shit. So at this point, you're either terrified and you stay in your you stay in your fucking Faraday cage, or you just embrace it and go along with the fucking flow and enjoy the ride.
Well, I
I'm
think we're
enjoying
talking
the ride.
about. There's
Can we
too
take a
many of
survey?
those shows out there that play that freaking, the paranormal on the freaking the cable channel, and it's the editing of the ramp up, the shock moment, and then it never comes. And
Oh, you talking about the
I think-
Roto-Rooter guys?
Well, yeah, but you talk about any of that stuff. It's like, like even like Shark Week, with the Discovery Shark Week, they amp up this big, major, dramatic thing, and it ends up being nothing.
Yeah.
So it's shock
Yeah.
television,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
telling it down. But
Right.
none of us have ever experienced. I mean, we all have our own individual experiences with this stuff. But we'll call it anecdotal, because you can't prove it. You can't put something tangible onto that.
But it all gives you anxiety. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Prior
but,
to
like I said,
Shark,
I hate to say
definitely
this.
Shark Week does. Definitely, it's all about the build. It's all about the build up. It's about the build up.
Yeah, and they've been caught red-handed. But like I said, I think the problem is with these shows that even talk about the paranormal. Like I think Zoe's got a better thing. You analyze these videos, and unfortunately today with video editing and AI, it's very hard to pinpoint what is actually real and legitimate versus what is, some of the editing, and anybody who does the computers, and Mike will tell you with the sound stuff, editing is incredible. Computers will do a lot for you.
Yeah.
So everything has to be held with a
Yeah, you got to stick to the older like videos. You know what I'm saying? The shits in the '80s and early '90s type shit. Even the '50s is whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't trust anything now. I mean, shit. I mean, you can't even trust a girl in a dress.
Most of the time, you can tell AI.
Ain't been able to fool old Eagle Eye so far.
I think you could tell. I think you could tell AI.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, if you know video, you could tell AI, man. It's not perfect yet.
Can't though.
I know some people
can.
Right.
They said with the speed right now that the deep fakes are improving and the ability, right now I can take like 50 words of an individual and create a video that's actually pretty good. Most people, it's like, yeah, that's fake. But they're saying with the speed and the evolution of AI, how long is it before you won't be able to tell? And that we don't
That's
go down a rabbit hole.
that's the scary part. That's the hit right there, no doubt.
Exactly.
No doubt.
That is the
No doubt.
scary part because AI is always learning.
Yeah.
So let's ask this. Let's can we take a survey on this in terms of the videos 1, 2, and 3 and see which ones motherfuckers thought were fake, real, or possible? Can we do that?
I don't even remember the videos.
The first one was the kid. The first one was the kid getting snatched. The third one was a thing in the graveyard, and the second one was the what was the second one?
Well, one of them Jones had the bitch. Had the bitch
Second was
there.
the girl getting
Dirty Harry.
No. But Joe, which one was the one where the chick was in the? The chick was in the door.
first one.
The door.
That was the
That's
first
the
one.
first one. Yeah, it was a lot going on in
That
that
shit
first.
seemed real as a motherfucker. That one, I'm gonna fuck with that one. That's the one I'm going with. That first one. That
See,
shit
I
was-
thought the first one was the staged one where the girl was in the door and then the kids were sitting there and the person got snatched. I thought that one was staged. The second
And
one,
that
I
is the
thought was
direction
real.
that I'm leaning
And the
with
third
I'd
that.
say
one
it
in
was the
graveyard.
scariest. It was definitely the spookiest.
But
Yeah.
the first one was the spookiest I thought.
Yeah.
It was a wild.
Fake
but
or
when you
not,
look
it was
at what
spooky as shit.
That shit was ill. Yeah,
I'm
that
leaning
shit was.
towards it was being staged. You know what I'm
That
saying?
The first one.
Yeah.
I don't know. That
Definitely
first one.
being staged.
I don't know. So that's the joke. And so that's the joke when he pulled the little kid and the little kid was going backwards.
Yes.
Yeah, but like Mike pointed out, that orb. Who pointed out the fact that orb, could have possibly been, were they actually filming on another screen and that
You
orb
pointed
is
it out, you
something-
drunk fuck.
No, actually, I'm pointing out that it may have been energy. That's what did it. But yeah,
Yeah,
You said it was the
fucking.
fucking
it could have been
camera.
dust.
Hey,
Is it?
That joint was
And the
scary.
second one-
That joint was
the
scary.
second one
Who
was
pointed
when
out that the
blanket
guy
was
was
being taken
using the
off.
camera? It was your ass. That's who it was.
Drink some more. Hey, Mike.
Oh God! Don't
I'm
tell
going
me
for number
it's
2.
the worst fucking time of the night, man. It's time for us to say goodbye.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody, it's time. Go to your fucking YouTube.com and subscribe. Late Night Luncheon. LATENITE LUNCHIN. I am fucked up tonight, you dirty bitches. Say goodbye to everybody.
Fucked up, I don't fucking care. I'm so fucked up, I don't even care. Y'all is fucked up, I don't fucking care. Right where you at? 60 bucks calling. Me and these ice cold 12 just partying. 2 6s in a holster. Guess it's time to post up. Here's a 9.5%, so put it on your coaster. Crush it like a monster. Party like a rock star. If you got a drinking problem, I can be a sponsor. A drunk motherfucker who parties like no other. You can't hang, but you'll never be the rock star. But hold up, wait, let's do some shots, everybody. Ask anyone who knows I'm the last to leave the party. The first to get started, Mr. Fuck Up and retarded, and highly regarded as a king of the shit. I get fucked up quick, cause only I can do this. You can't outdrink me, so cross it off your list. I'm as drunk as I can get, guess it's time to dip. I'm about to leave and I won't say goodbye, bitch. Well, I'm so fucked up, I don't even care. If y'all is fucked up, I don't fucking care. I'm so fucked up, I don't even care.
That motherfucking Buck got a fucking hit and he don't even know it.